Welcome to Better You in 52, brought to you by betteryouin52.com. This is for week 15. My name is Jay Clifton Payne, the host of this series of videos, 52 of them if we do make it through the year, and the host, the moderator at the website, betteryouin52.com. Now, this year, this program is not a full 52 weeks of development that goes on top of each other. It's not a 52-week program. This year, we are doing something a little bit different. This year, we're doing something where we are providing for you a bit of support on your journey to your better you. And the 52 mark is just basically saying, give yourself a year's worth of time to work on that thing and see how you are at the end of 52 weeks. We also believe that it doesn't take 52 weeks to be a better you. It takes the moment of saying, I'm going to improve on this. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to work out more and get in better shape. I'm going to find time to spend more time with my family. I'm going to work on that career that I've always wanted. I'm going to start that side hustle that should hopefully be a big business one day. It takes time to get there. And we're just saying within years of time, you'd be surprised just how far you would get. So that's where Better You in 52 fits in this year. Every single week, we'll provide for you a brand new video that's a bit of support for you, something to help you keep on your goal. You choose your own goal. You choose whatever it is you want to focus on. And that is the entirety of your journey this year, how we're working the program for this year. For more details on how things work out and more resources, check out the website, betteryouin52.com. If you've not been to that website, or if you want to comment or get some questions, reply to us here inside the video or at the website on the link for this week's video as it comes out. More explanation on how the website thing works in a bit. This week, we go deep into the archives of how we've done this program before, and we go back to some of the lessons that were actually in the 52-week developmental stage, put hopefully strategically. Some of them just sort of ended up where they did. We had to fill a whole year's worth of time. But this was a more strategic lesson here for week 15 today. It was somewhere earlier in the lessons before based on how things rolled out. And it's about being coachable, being able to follow direction, being able to be coached, have someone help you along your way, your journey. The great thing about coaching, a great thing about experience, I'd say specifically, is you don't have to go through every single experience to understand the experience. You don't have to touch the hot stove to realize that it will burn you. You just have to have someone tell you it could burn you and maybe show you the scars they had from them touching the hot stove. That should teach you well ahead of time that you don't have to go through every single pain point to get there. The best paths to follow are paths that are already worn, whether they are slightly worn or well worn. That will tell you the best way to go. You follow the tracks. In fact, trackers back in the day when Lewis and Clark wandered around the world, they didn't just start going west to find their way to wherever west was. They followed tracks that the animals took. They followed tracks that they saw other groups of people take. They followed tracks that were already there. They followed natural tracks that maybe the weather had worn down some paths that made it easier to get to the destination that went in the direction they were going to. They didn't just start walking and just say, oh, there's this mountain, we have to climb it. There may be this a ravine to the left or the right that they could take that would take them past that obstacle, so it would be much less of an obstacle, easier way to get through. This is literally about being coachable, being able to be coached, have someone give you direction and you take it. We'll go deeper into that in just a moment. But first, this lesson is also served as we are doing it now, as we're updating it for this year's program. This right now is a look back to a past lesson on therapy and looking forward to a future lesson on mentors. I've brought up mentors in various bits and pieces of the lesson so far, but we're going to have a deeper dive into finding a mentor. But this is a dual lesson that reminds you that in the coachability thing, we had a lesson on thinking about getting into therapy, figuring out that you may need real help, if you will, not just an internet guy with a pretty cool looking beard to tell you how things could go. May need help from a professional who can actually help you work through some even serious psychological trauma, or just being able to walk you through some things that may not be so psychological, but maybe a bit more detailed. I personally am a staunch supporter of therapy. I've recently relaunched into a therapy session, a group session, in the last couple of months to deal with some nagging issues, some issues, including getting this thing done, if you will, that is helping me out immensely. And I'm a person who bristles a lot at the whole process of therapy. But once I get into it, once I get to know whoever I was working with, either the group of people I'm together with or the actual person who's facilitating, one on one or in group sessions, it gets better. Look into therapy, look into counseling, look into some sort of group issue, if you will, that will help you work things out. We're working on group cohorts here, as you will, not so much therapy, but more support groups and just chat groups coming up. Like we say often, this is a free resource. We're trying to keep it free. The free part has been the issue. So that's been one of those things. Also, time is expensive. So free time has been an issue as well. We're also looking forward to a lesson coming up on mentors and how to find mentors properly. Mentors are basically anybody, any person, anything, some in a case, that will offer you advice to move forward. And so your mentor does not have to be a real person. Your mentor can be books. This is a case where Tony Robbins can be your mentor. You can follow the things that Tony Robbins does if it helps you out. If it doesn't help you out, he's not a very good mentor and should find something or someone that will help you out better. So this is a lesson that looks back at the therapy lesson. Maybe you should consider therapy. Maybe you should consider some counseling. Maybe you consider professional help, and looks forward to finding mentors, whether they are natural people or just sort of books or programs that will help you go through. In a sense, I could be your mentor walking you through this thing right here in that level as well. And we don't have to actually know each other or meet. You can just follow along in these videos, and these videos will help you get through the program. Number one thing about your being coachable is the coach, the person, place, or thing that is giving you your information, your programming, your things to follow must be credible. That source must be credible. It can't just be crackpot information. It can't be tinfoil hat type folks, although a lot of people are falling tinfoil hat type folks these days. That's the political climate we're in. Your source of your mentorship, of your coachability, of your counseling, the person who is doing the coaching, the thing that is leading you towards your better thing, has to be from a credible source. Has to make sense. You could say, yes, all celery diet would help you lose weight, and that would probably be the case. But all celery offers literally no nutrition for your body, and your body would break down in the process of all the actual things you need to live on. All celery would help you lose weight. It would also probably kill you in the process. That is from a non-credible source if someone told you that going on. Eating more vegetables, including celery, may help. A source like that from a book or something will give you that, but it also give you other things to balance it out. How to eat more of this and less of that. How to do more of these things and less of these things. Your source has to give you things that are credible, that one makes sense or maybe blow your mind in a moment, but as you work yourself through it, you see where the process goes and how this thing would work. If the information they're giving you doesn't make any sense, there's no reason to follow it, period. If you're getting non-credible information from your source, question your source, question the methods, and leave the source if they cannot give you something valid going forward. This is not wax on, wax off to teach you how to do your sweeping arms things. This is literally just go wax my car. Like the second movie, like the movie with Jackie Chan was like, yeah, just wax my car. There's no lesson. I just want my car waxed. Something like that. Now, let's talk about the being coachable part. Go deeper into that for a moment. You have to be able to take direction. When something is given to you to do, you got to do it. You got to be able to do it with as little resistance and comments as possible, as little just bristling as it is. This is not following your yoga master or going to a wise Jedi master like Yoda and just following blindly what's going on because that's how the movie script goes. But if someone gives you something to do and there's no reason not to doubt it, go ahead and do it. If it's jump off this bridge without any sort of parachute or a bungee cord, that's kind of dumb. But if it's here's what you need to do on step 1, step 2, step 3, this is how you support yourself going on. This is what's going to happen. These are the safety measures. This is what's going to be done when it's over, and this is how you should feel when it's done. Those are directions. Those are solid directions. Those are credible directions. And you can go step by step and see where things go. As I said, if the source is incredible, you can always stop listening to the mentor and leave the program. This is you're not in a monastery where you're training to be a monk for fighting some sort of global classic evil or some sort. You're just looking to get better in better shape, or try to eliminate drinking from your life, or do less smoking, or be better father, mother, parent, grandparent, whatever, better child, if you will. But you have to be able to follow the directions that are given, because they're being given for a reason. Sometimes the reason is pretty obvious, sometimes it's not quite. And as you said, if it seems like it's way out there, you can question the direction and ask what's going on. But you still have to be able to follow some sort of direction to get better. That's what being coachable is, following direction. You also have to be able to take feedback. This is going to be really hard, because you're going to do the thing, you're going to do terrible at the thing, and someone's going to tell you that you were terrible at the thing, go do it again. And that's going to sting a lot. So you're going to have to deal with feedback. And most of the feedback in the early days is going to be, this wasn't done very well. Do it again. Try it again. Do it this way. Do it that way. Do the little tweak here till you get better. At some point in time, you'll get better, and the feedback will be, wow, that was awesome. Wow, that was great. Wow, you're doing so much better. But in the early moments, the feedback is not going to be all that great. So, yes, you're going to take direction from people you may not want to. And yes, you're going to have to deal with feedback from people that is saying you're not doing so well, including people who aren't even a part of your growth journey. The people who are just sort of outsiders who are trying to figure out what's going on, saying, what the hell are you doing? What's this all about? Why are you eating all this celery? That's stupid. Why are you doing it? Feedback from the people who are coaching you should be productive. And you may have a Bobby Knight style coach who's basically a terror on you, but if it's that's what motivates you, that's what motivates you. But feedback from the people who aren't in the program, don't know there's a program going on, don't understand the program, or trying to figure out why life is so bad that all of a sudden you're trying to improve it, which means there's something wrong with them because they're a part of your life, is where things will get very painful. You're going to have to be able to take the feedback from a large source of people, including people who don't understand what you're doing, and people who may understand what you're doing. They know exactly what's going on, but don't want you to get better, or in a sense, want you to be just as bad as they are, maybe worse, because if you are worse than them, that makes them feel better. If you improve on yourself, they have to either realize they're not doing so great, or they have to improve on themselves to be better than you. Sometimes a bit of peer pressure and some competition is a great way to get better and to improve on stuff, then get that motivation to do better. But everyone must be motivated to do better for themselves personally, and not just because they have to be better than that guy. And here's one of the harder things about what happens, because the direction you're going to take is going to be hard, and you may not actually be able to follow it. The feedback you're going to get early on, especially, is going to be harsh, and you may not want to listen to it because it's harsh and it's not telling you you're doing great. It's telling you you're not doing so great and you do better. You're going to be able to you're going to be able to have to live with all the results of your work, good, bad, indifferent. At some point in time, you'll be better. You may not be as better as you thought you were, as great as you thought you were going to be, as awesome as you intended to be, but you'll be better. And you'll have to live with those results until you get to that next level. In the meantime, and live the results of what you have right now while you're not getting better, while things are not working out so well, while you're in your early days of work, while you're in the muck and the dirt and the grime of the early stuff. For prime example, from you're watching this video off a YouTube video, most of the credible information, credible source work from people saying to get started doing videos, no matter what your goal is in videos and whether you want to get monetized, you want to just use it as a platform, is to make 100 videos. Just make 100 videos. Don't intend on all those videos seeing the light of day. Don't intend on the first 10 to see the light of day. Just make 100 videos, come up with an idea, turn on the camera, and make 100 videos. The point with that is you learn how to turn on the camera, you learn how to make sure you're recording with the right audio sources, you're recording with the microphone like I have to my left right here, or not the microphone right there in the camera, because this is a better microphone. You learn things about audio and visual stuff, how things work out. You learn the things like listening to your monitors. I have ear monitors in so I can hear myself much better, as opposed to just talking and going over there. It's something I learned in radio. You have to hear everything. And so you hear yourself in your ears instead of what you hear, the weirdness that the conducting of your voice through your head. That's a whole another lesson right there. You have to knock out a couple things and just live with being bad at stuff for a while until you get better at it. And then once you see you get better at it, live with being better at it until you get even better at it and seeing what needs to be going on. You have to be able to live with the result you have right now, because done is better than perfect. It's having it done, being complete, doing the thing, even if it's not great work on the early level, is important in your coaching ability, in your being coachable, and your further coaching ability as well. As you get better at it, as you work more harder at it, as your time goes on, you will find you'll get better at it just because more practice, more reps, more moving around. You get stronger, you get a little bit faster, you get more confident, your posture gets better, your voice starts to grow in the way it should be. Things work well as you practice. So when you do practice the right way, even practice the wrong way, you'll find some things will improve just because you just do extra reps. But you have to be able to live with the results at the point where you are. If you're early in the coaching ability, you're going to have to live with the results of not being so great and being told that you need to redo it a lot because you need to get better. Once you start getting better, you have to live with the fact that you've gotten better, but you're not quite there yet. Once you're closer to a there, you can go, great, I'm here. These are results that are on par with what my people want. I am producing personally video results that are good enough for the videos that are coming out there for you guys to consume, and not just trash, for lack of a better word. But I can get better, and I'm working on what's better. What I'm producing right now, it's done, it's good, it works. I'm still working on better, because that's the part about the improvement part. And being coachable is being able to see that there is a better and being able to work those issues out. Let's go back to the top on being coachable. Number one, this lesson right here may have you think about the fact that you need to figure out who your coaches are, whether they are people who migrate into your life or not. You may have to go looking for them and really putting some effort into that. You may have to go into some sort of counseling therapy, looking back at that, looking back towards the actual lesson we had on the merits of getting someone, a counselor, a professional, to make sure that you are doing well. And then you look forward, in this case, to a lesson coming in a bit on how mentors work, how to get mentors, how to make mentors work. And the thing about mentors, the evil, dark, dirty secret is your mentor doesn't have to be a person. Your mentor, or doesn't have to be a person mentoring you. You find mentors from books, media, videos. You can follow what people do and use that as a sense to use that to build your journey going forward. You don't have to necessarily be taught by the Dalai Lama, but you can read all the books that he read and figure out your way towards your own personal sense of peace, if that's what you want to do. If you're lucky enough to meet the Dalai Lama, he can be your actual mentor. The source of your coachability, the source of your information, the source of the person coaching for you, what they're providing for you to do, must be credible, has to make sense. Jumping off a building doesn't make much sense if it's just, for you want to be more in tune with yourself. Just leaping off tall buildings doesn't really make more sense. But maybe climbing a ladder and just relaxing at that height might make more sense going forward. That was a weird metaphor. I'm not sure even where that came from, where that was going. But what you're talking about, what is being told to you, needs to really sort of make sense. If you want to quit smoking and you want to quit smoking by taking heroin, yeah, that may distract you from doing cigarettes, but it's not doing anything better. You have to be able to take direction. That's pretty much the most important part about the coaching thing is, if someone gives you some direction, you have to be able to do it. Go lift these weights. Okay, go. I'm going to go try to lift these weights. Maybe you can't actually lift as much weight as they want you to right now, but you're going to go sit on that bench and you're going to pump something out until you get there. Go follow this plan. The plan may suck. It may be hard to follow to a T, but you're going to go and take the plan and look at it and try to follow the plan. Try to keep up with the plan, because It's the plan. You can't get to that next level if you're not following the direction from that coach. You also have to be able to take feedback from both the people coaching you and the people around you who have no idea what's happening, but they can see something's different and they don't understand it. They see that you're hangry all the time and don't realize that you're trying to lose weight on this program where you're fasting 12 hours a day, and they're just like, dude, just have a cheeseburger because you're making me upset with whatever's going on. That's feedback. Your feedback is you're not handling your program so well, and you have to deal with that or not deal with that, which is also oddly enough a way to deal with things is to not deal with things. Uh, it's one of those paradoxes of communications. Not communicating is also communicating. That's there. You have to take feedback from people who matter and a lot of people who may not. And finally, you have to be able to live with the final results, the current results, and the past results, if you will. You will live with whatever you're doing right now. Whatever effort you can produce at this moment is what you can produce at this moment. You've got to deal with it. You can't run a marathon after just getting off the couch and being overweight for, the bulk of your lifetime. You're going to have to start by just walking around the block and losing a few pounds, and then walking a couple more blocks, and then losing a few more pounds, and then doing some strength training and doing things like that. There will be a process to get to the end, using that metaphor for marathon. You can't just get up and start running, 26 miles. It's it's not impossible because obviously some guy did it once and died at the end of it. Why we call it a marathon. But if you want to actually do it effectively, if you're actively being coached to do that, you've got to live with the results that you're putting out right now. And as you get better, live with the results you're putting out at that point in time. And once you get to a peak where you can hit that goal, you live with those results, then always look for a way to tweak it up. Personal best, not shave a little time off that run time. Get a couple extra hours in a week in exercise. Read a book, an extra book within that time frame to try to read more books. Maybe hit that sales goal by another extra percentage each time you're going to go for it. Whatever you're trying to get better at, live with the results you have right now, especially when they're bad, because you know it can get better. Once they get better, live with the results as they are, because good is good, but always work to try to work a little tad bit better, keep improving. Remember, if you're not working on improvement, you are slowly encroaching on dying. If you're not living, you're dying. You're not growing, you're dying. If you're not expanding, you're constricting. So keep that in mind. And that's what you need to focus on for this week for Better You in 52, whether you are coachable. Finding a coach, that's a whole nother thing. And we'll talk more about finding a coach and we go into the mentor lesson in a week or two. If you need some more information on that, just reach out to me in the comments here and we'll talk on a deeper level offline in on those issues. But the biggest thing about one of the biggest things about being better going forward is being able to take in information and get better. If all it is finding a book that will help you outline whatever your goal is, a book, it could be a cookbook for cooking better foods, for losing more weight. It could be an exercise guide for doing more exercise. It could be a book that help you study more as you're trying to get back into school. It could be a book on organization. We've talked about Marie Kondo a few times in the past 15 weeks and how organization thinks about. Maybe it's something about cleaning your room, cleaning your desk, cleaning your office. It could be something like that. Whatever it is, you have to be able to follow those directions, have to be coachable to make it work. You also can take a look at our website for more details and more great things that you can get some help with. This is Better You in 52, and it's a very simple website that we have created for this go around of the session of the program. Every week, we're just providing a brand new video with some way to help you improve on what's going on. And it's not a 52-week direct program where it's this week we do this and next week we do that. We, like I said here in this week's episode, we are foreshadowing a talk about mentors, but it's not necessarily this week you get a mentor, and this week you work this thing out, this week you work this thing out. These are just things to work on going on. As we said, the moment you said, I want to be better at this, is the moment you changed, and every step forward helps you get better. We're saying give yourself a year and see how different it is from day one. We started this journey, if you will, the first of the year in 2022. So this is a New Year's resolution style start. But from day one to day 365, week 1 to week 52, How better will you be at that thing you want to work on a year from now? That's what we're helping you out here with some videos and things like that. Last week we had try and make new friends, and it's try because making new friends, as we say in the lesson, gets really really hard as you get older to have the opportunity to make new friends. So one thing you're probably missing in your journey is maybe some support, people to talk to. We want you to try to make some new friends, and hopefully friends that are in the same vein of what you're doing, at least positive friends, even if they're not on the same journey you are, friends that are positive. Figure out your philosophy. One thing that may be holding you back is you don't know quite what it is you are, what it is you want to be, what you want to do, and why this improvement is such a big deal to you. Why you thought, hey, I want to be a better person, but how do I do be a better person? This was part of that lesson there. Listen to your body. You're probably not doing everything your body is telling you to do to have the best body you possibly have. Your body, no physical manifestation means nothing. You can't have a better personal life, can't have a better mental life, can't get a better job if your body is failing you and not allowing you to do the best you can. So if things are going wrong with your body, listen to your body and let it tell you what you need to work on. And another recent episode was drop some obligations. If you got too many things going on, you don't have time to work on those new things. So figure out some things that you can get rid of. They're obligations because you have obliged yourself to them. If they're paid obligations, like a job, and your job is getting in the way of things, you need to maneuver your time around your job to make sure you can do other things, or you got to find a new way of making money, a new way of living. That's just how it goes. If you want to be a better person, spend more time with other folks, but you're a workaholic and can't get away from the office, you've got to find a way to remedy that. You got to find a way to be less of a work person and more of an in-person person. It may mean losing some revenue. It actually may mean just giving up things you don't need. Maybe you find out you don't need as much as you think you do once you find out you need more time. Time, the ultimate resource. And we'll have another message. We talk about time a lot as well. We'll have another message specifically on time coming soon. So those are some of the last couple of lessons we've had in the last couple of weeks for Better You in 52. If you are new to us here, this is our very first video, and you've lasted this full long, about 25, 26 minutes of this lesson here. We thank you so much for joining for this thing here. Better You in 52 is a program I created years ago, about a decade or so ago, for essentially going week by week to look for personal improvement increments, essentially every week getting a little bit better going forward. This program is right now is completely free, will always be free as far as I'm concerned. I have other programs, including Steps You're a Better You, which hosts this YouTube channel, which just lives on at the moment, that does have some mentoring, if you will, some counseling, if you will, some accountability work. Coaching is what I mostly focus on, that are paid type things to work forward to. For this website, it's going to be mostly free, which is why we've had issues getting the cohort stuff going on, getting the group counseling, coaching thing, and not really sure. It's not really coaching per se, because we're looking for a platform that allows us to do this efficiently, for time, and efficiently for a budget of hopefully zero. So we may not get a great forum for betterunion52.com this year because we're not taking sponsors, not adding anything extra to it. It's coming straight out of other parts of the business are taking care of this. So we're not going to take on any extra fees to take on anything larger extra. But if you do think this works out, you want to go deeper into some things, reach out to me in this video, reach out to me at my email address, jclevelandpayne@gmail.com. Reach out to us in the comments of the website as well, and we will do what we can do to join on. If you have any ideas on how to make things work other than message boards, I just hate message boards, but that may be the better way to go. It is there. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us for this one. This one was a little bit longer. We had more points going through it, but the coaching thing is a kind of a very important part about being personal development and improvement, because at some point you've got to have some sort of template to follow to go better, because you don't know what better is just by saying, "Oh, I'm better." You have to have some sort of marker and some sort of measuring stick to get there. And usually There are people who've done it before you that can show you how to get there much faster, much more efficiently, a lot less pain in your life because they've already, suffered the pain in their lives, or they themselves have been able to milk down information from other folks, their pain points, to give you something that's even easier to do. That's what teaching is all about. That's what tutoring is all about. That's what this thing here essentially is all about. Thank you so much for being a part of Better Union 52 for this week, week 15. We always say we're going to have a great week coming up next week, and we will. Thank you for the feedback on the improvement for the videos for those of you who've been here for a while on things going forward, and on improvement of the look, because the beard is my one of my goals this year, taking on to turn into something useful, and to turn the greater this, because of my very long 30-year fear of doing video stuff, and trying to step on that one. I wanted to do better with video this year, and we're getting there. So I thank you all for your feedback on that one. Some of it stinging a bit because it is, but most of it all useful. Some of it not. Most of it useful. Most of it constructive. Most of it I can work on. Thank you so much once again. We're going to see you next week, we hope. Share this with other friends, other people who are needing something to latch onto. And remember, once you decide you're going to do better at something, it's there. Give yourself a year to go through it. Give yourself a year to see how day 1 to day 365, week 1 to week 52 goes, and compare yourself then. We'll see you next week with another video.